Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 68 kilogram catchweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. In the red corner, representing Crowning Glory MMA, please put your hands together for Yusuf Kat. And facing across the cage in the blue corner, representing Dungeon MMA, let's hear it for Micah Naisbet. Once again, this bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Your referee, Simon Stensky.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the fighters are locked in for 3 rounds in this amateur catchweight contest at 68 kilos. In the red corner, the Turkish delight, Yusuf Kat, representing Crowning Glory MMA. Standing opposite him in the blue corner is the Dungeon MMA prospect, Micah Naisbet. Naisbet in the black shorts, Yusuf in the red. I'm joined by my co-commentator, Jake Smith. Jake, what can you tell us about these guys?
Yeah, I mean, both guys, I know we've made a point of it all night, saying about how important it is for amateurs to stay very, very active. Both men, it's both their 5th fight. They only started competing in August of last year. They've had 5 fights in less than a year. It's exactly how it should be. They're both very, very exciting fighters. Yusuf Kat has got himself back in the win column following suffering the first loss at Rising Conquer 9. Micah Richards is, yes, to taste defeat, and he's looking to keep things that way, looking for a takedown here.
These guys off to a very exciting start. Both guys throwing big. Nice head pressure here from Micah Naisbet as he pressures Yusuf up against the fence. Yusuf looks like he's trying to get his left hand across the frame. He's already got the overhook.
Lovely knee up the middle there from Naisbet. As I mentioned, his 5th fight for him. All 5 now have been on Almighty as well.
True UFC veteran is Micah Naisbet, making a name for himself in the Almighty cage. Dominant wrestling, but very well rounded, has been my biggest takeaway from calling his fights. Very strong for the division as well.
Absolutely. All 4 victories coming by way of unanimous decision as well. Just shows how dominant he is in his fights.
And that's, again, what you want at amateur. You want to be able to show that you've got the ability and the cardio to go the distance. He certainly works very hard on his strength and conditioning.
It's great to see 2 young prospects facing off like this, though. It's no good as an amateur facing guys who have extremely negative records. You all see them on the scene every now and again. To see 2 young prospects facing off here is fantastic.
Well, sometimes when you keep a very active record, it can be hard to avoid those guys with losing records, just because there's only so many fighters available. What's concerning is when someone takes very few fights and they're all against people with mixed records, you know?
Yeah,
but both of these guys both getting good fights. Got a nice Muay Thai clinch here from Yusuf.
Naisbet looking for a huge right hand on the exit there, doesn't get it. Looking again for a takedown.
Amazing takedown defense on display there from Yusuf Kat. It looked like Micah was really deep in on that double leg, but framing nicely, had great balance. Looking like he's going to try and get his own throw himself here, but Micah steps over the leg.
Some real talent on display here between these 2.
The scrambles are just so high-paced. Seeing some good foot stomps here, like we saw earlier from Yora Nikolov. Final 10 seconds.
That round feels like it's absolutely flown as well.
Yeah, it feels like we were watching that fight for, 30 seconds, and then and the round was over. Very hard one to call. But I'm sure we have the judges in place to be able to make the right decision. Darryl Ranson, Mark Lee, KSW World Heavyweight Champion Phil DeFries also at present to make sure that the right man wins.
Both men now just receiving advice from their corners. You've got to wonder what both coaches are saying. You wonder for Kat if now it's a case of try and keep the distance and try and maybe strike with him. Look, we see what Naisbet's going to bring. He's going to try and take it down. If he can't get that, he's going to push up against the cage and make it nasty, make it ugly. I wonder how Kat will benefit from just trying to keep distance and just trying to keep Naisbet off.
Absolutely. I think one thing that I have noticed throughout Naisbet's short career is that he does very much use his striking in order to get to his takedown. And I think in this particular fight, he might do well just to kind of settle into his striking a little bit and then start to incorporate it, because then it'll be a little bit less kind of striking to grappling. It'll be a little bit more of a blend between all of them.
Absolutely.
But a fantastic corner in the Dungeon MMA team. I'm sure giving far better advice than I could ever hope to. Yusuf Kurt coming out has shown incredible balance so far.
Appears to have a little mouse under that right eye as well, Yusuf Kurt.
They exchange teeps. Yusuf slightly getting the better of it. Kicking the lead leg there from that position. Don't see that a lot.
Interesting that Kurt was the one who decided to tie that up, but then instantly Naisbet spun the momentum and got Kurt up against the cage.
See, Kurt's doing a good job of getting the overhook on any given side, but then he's holding the head. See how he's kind of cupping the head or cupping the arm of Naisbet? That's actually pulling Naisbet into him. So what he needs to do instead is get that left hand, put it across the face and frame, and then he can actually turn Naisbet using that overhook and then change the position. But happy to throw some knees here.
Looking for an arming guillotine.
Switching to a front headlock. He's got a tight grip on it, but it's not a, doesn't look like it's a submission threat. Micah muscles his way out, gets him back up against the fence. Again, see how he's kind of cupping the back of the arm. A frame would be potentially more effective there, but he does manage to get himself away from the fence. Big shots exchanged by both men.
Lovely left hand there from
Naisbet. Lovely takedown from Naisbet, finally gets him down.
Very interesting to see what work Naisbet can do from here. North-south position up as Naisbet works his way around. Naisbet, we want to try and step his leg over here. Currently inside control.
Kurt doing, sorry?
No, go on, sorry.
No, I was just saying Kurt was doing a good job there of keeping his knee up, preventing Naisbet from being able to pass, and when Naisbet has just gone to pass, he's been able to regain full guard as a result.
Yeah, Naisbet's very strong on top as well. Just dominant pressure going through.
Very physical for a man at his age as well. Very muscular, but also with great endurance. It's a rare combination you see.
It certainly is. 40 seconds of this second round left.
Turkish Delight definitely not out of this one though. He's had some good moments throughout this fight.
What an incredible nickname that is, by the way. Kurt doing a very good job here of just preventing Naisbet from advancing his position at all.
Well, he's mixing up from having a full guard, from having an inside butterfly hook, to having both feet on the hips, to only having one butterfly hook, 1 foot on the hip, he's mixing up his guard and he's diversifying it very well, which is giving Naisbet new problems to solve every couple of seconds, so Naisbet can never really settle into a position. He's constantly getting all of these new problems to solve coming down the line.
Back to the corners now in what was a very wrestle-heavy affair in that second round.
I would say that was probably a little bit easier to score than the previous round. I would be inclined to give it to Naisbet.
Yeah, I agree with you with that.
However, very close, tough one to call. Could be everything to play for as we go into the third. This fight is shaping up very nicely, potentially one of our fight of the nights. We have a fight of the night bonus for £250, as well as 2 finish of the night bonuses for the same amount of prize money tonight.
Seconds out, and here we go, the third and final round in this contest. 2 bright young prospects facing off.
This has been our amateur main event of the evening, as it were. We go on to the pro card after this one.
And what a card it is.
Yusuf Kurt forgetting his gum shield going into the third. He was so excited to get this one underway, as are we.
And we're underway.
And he puts the pressure on straight away. Big shots here, big right hook to the body from Naisbet.
And especially as the fight wears on, them body shots pay even more dividends, don't they? You're already tired. The last thing you need is more hair getting punched out of you.
Really nice takedowns here from Naisbet. He's really had to kind of employ different takedown variations, but I think he's found the one that he likes. It's kind of, as he shoots for the double leg, he's coming up with an underhook on the arm of his opponent and then kind of throwing him off to the side.
Credit must be given to Kurt here as well. He's not stopped when he's on his back. He's looking for ways out. He's looking for space to try and move.
Oh, it looks like he might be going for a buggy choke here. Micah smart to it. Nice knee to the body there from Micah Naisbet. Steve Cook Abbott Smith. Or just sorry, Steve Cook Abbott would be very happy to see it. Again, working a very peculiar guard here. Looks like he's going for that buggy choke.
I think he'll do well to get that.
I don't think he's got it, but this would be a hell of a submission to pull off. It looks a little tight, you know. He might have this. I believe this would be the first buggy choke we've ever seen in the AFC cage. But Micah now applying a lot of pressure onto the neck and throat of Yusuf Kurt, trying to dissuade him from applying any more pressure to this.
Micah, he just seems to still be able to move enough and just be able to do enough for this to suggest this isn't on.
Although it's getting there. Before we could see the shoulder, and it was the shoulder that was keeping him from being able to kind of set his scapula back and keep the pressure off. But now that shoulder's disappearing ever so slightly. It's similar to when you see a triangle. If you can see the shoulder when someone's in a triangle, the triangle's not on. So once that shoulder disappeared, it's on, but Micah escapes.
Yeah, and I mean, now it'd be interesting to know how close that was there, because it certainly looked on. And now Naisbet looking for a submission attempt of his own, taking the backyard instantly of Yusuf Kurt.
Well, sometimes with those like more unorthodox chokes, like the buggy choke, they're a bit more unorthodox for a reason, you know. Sometimes a certain body type can make it ineffective or more effective, you know. It's a bit less that way with a rear naked choke. Everyone's neck is fundamentally pretty much the same. Although we are approaching the final 15 seconds of this 3-round amateur fight, which has absolutely flown by thanks to the high-paced nature of it. An excellent performance put on by Micah Naisbet and Yusuf Kurt.
I'll be very interested to see the judges' scorecards on this one.
Well, I have a feeling like Micah Naisbet might have secured himself those last 2 rounds. Potentially all 3 of them. But what a performance by the Turkish delight, Yusuf Kurt.
I know. I mean, look, we said this was going to be a good fight. Just when we were watching there in the background, I could see the figure of Sarge Hack at tonight's main event standing over watching. That's always a sign that they know it's going to be a good fight when other fighters come out from their training to watch it.
Absolutely.
Boom.
An absolutely cracking main event that we've got scheduled on later. 5 rounds in the pro flyweight division for the Almighty Fighting Championship title. Our sponsors for this fight, however, have been Sponsorite, Eric's Fightwear, DN4 Photography, Vulcanite, Fresh and Lean. Our media partners tonight have been MMA Reloaded, Combat Sports UK, and MMA TV. Our referees and judges who are going to be scoring this one are going to be Daryl Ranson, Mark Lee, and Phil DeFries. We hand it over to announcer Wayne Groves for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Both our warriors. After 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Now, judges have scored this contest 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28. Declaring your winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, Micah Naisbet. And let's hear it for our runner-up, Yusuf Kurt.
And that's a 5th straight win for Micah Naisbet. And also,
we're going to take a short 30-minute break. Plenty of time to get yourselves to the bar, get some drinks in. I know it's a warm one here at Drayton Arena. Make sure you're all hydrated. Keep nice and cool, because when we start the action again in 30 minutes' time, we've got our pro card. 4 fantastic fights. Of course, our main event of the evening is a fight you do not want to miss. So once again, we're taking a short 30-minute break. Go get yourselves some drinks at the bar. We'll see you back here 30 minutes' time.
5th straight win for Micah Naisbet, another dominant decision victory. We conclude our amateur card for this evening and we go on to our pro card for the night. Obviously our main event, Superman, Sarge Hack, is going to be taking on top contender, Elliot Hoy, 8-2 from Gym 01. make sure you stay with us for the remainder of our pay-per-view and the pro card coming up.